Good afternoon. I'm Bob WEIMAR. I'm the Executive Director of PWSA. And certainly we're gratified to have a number of rather esteemed colleagues and officials here today to celebrate what we think is a monumental achievement, getting the funding for the next year of our lead service line program. Certainly the mayor's here, Representative Frankel, and Senator Costa, Mr. Councilman O'Connor, and the Secretary McDonnell. I'm going to turn the podium over to the mayor, and he's going to have a few remarks, and we'll come back in a bit.
Thank you. Thanks, Director. It's partnerships that get things done. Nobody can do things by themselves, and what it requires is the ability to work together. I want to take a special moment to thank Governor Wolf for his leadership in helping to pull this program together. It's something that our state representative, our state senators, and city council have all lobbied for on behalf of the people of the city of Pittsburgh. And we've been rewarded with $49 million to be able to begin to tackle the complete ability to remove every lead pipe from our system. Now, if you think back a few years ago or a decade ago, we had no program in place to be able to remove lead pipes, even though we knew that they would eventually deteriorate. Now we have a program that will allow us to do so and even be able to exceed the 12-year window that we're regulated to follow. I'm very confident that by next year, lead levels in our water will be significantly lower, and we will no longer be under a decree to replace lead lines. But as a city, we have made it a commitment to do it anyway. And we will fix a problem that is decades in the making and fix it within or even below 1 decade's worth of time. This $49 million will help with our program that will assist homeowners with their laterals and being able to replace those as well, and will be done on an annual basis in order to be able to continue our programs. Again, I want to thank all of the people that are here today of understanding that together we're able to make this happen. This $49 million is being matched by much more by the ratepayers of PWSA, and their contributions in this will help to make the entire program succeed. It's now my distinct pleasure to welcome to Pittsburgh our DEP Secretary, Patrick McDonnell. Mr. Secretary.
Thank you. So thank you all. Very good to be here with you. As the mayor said, I'm Patrick McDonnell. I'm the Secretary of the state's Department of Environmental Protection. It's a genuine pleasure to be here for today's event. Thank you to the mayor, to the senator, to the representative and councilman, and PWSA for the work that they've done with us to date to address these issues. The loans and grants we're talking about here today are designed to clean up our waters. They're monies that go to wastewater treatment plants so that pollutants aren't finding their way into our rivers and streams, and they are dollars that go to drinking water facilities in order to improve drinking water quality delivered to the residents of the Commonwealth. We're home to some of the oldest infrastructure and housing stock in the nation, and it's critically important that we as a state address these infrastructure challenges and concerns as we go forward. Through Penvest, not just the money, but putting it into some perspective, we're talking about 2,400 lead service lines that will be able to be replaced here within PWSA service territory, and that's a remarkable achievement. It's not just an issue that we confront here in Pittsburgh. Recently, the governor signed into legislation, or as an act, a bill that will make it easier for utilities to engage in lead service line replacements across the Commonwealth. We have programs related to stormwater cleanup that we've been engaged with municipalities, including the city here around in terms of dealing with some of those water challenges that we have. But today is really about delivering quality drinking water here to the residents of Pittsburgh. And we're very, very excited to participate on the lead service line replacement program. There's still a lot of work to do. It's something that we're in regular contact with PWSA and the city and others about, to make sure that we're addressing issues throughout PWSA's system. As we've said before, this isn't something that you address in one day, 1 week, 1 month, but it's something that will be addressed over time, and we'll continue to be there working with the city and the authority in order to address that. So I want to thank PWSA, thank the city and the legislators for all of their good work to get us to this point today. So thank you, and I believe I now have the privilege of introducing Senator Costa.
Thank you very much, Secretary McDonnell, and thank all of you for being here this afternoon. This is an important day. And I think, as the mayor indicated, this is an issue, a problem in the city of Pittsburgh that has been in making for a number of decades. What's most important today is, though, that the city of Pittsburgh, working with the Director WEIMAR, have developed a plan about how we're going to remediate these lines and what steps we're going to take to make certain that the waters in Pittsburgh flowing into our homes are going to be clean and good water and lead-free water. And what's important about that is, it's not as if the governor or Penvest or the Secretary of DEP can simply just hand out $49 million in grants and loans. You need to make certain that you have a plan in place to be able to implement the use of those resources. And whether it's with respect to what we're talking about today, or whether it's economic development or whatever type of measure it might be, where resources will make their way back to our city and our county, it's the planning that's takes place, and it's the work that's being done to make certain that those resources, those valuable and limited resources, will be put to good use and are going to address the problem that needs to be addressed. So I'm very, very pleased to be here. I'm very pleased with the work that's being done, certainly with PWSA and under the leadership of the mayor and the task force and the like that's taking place to address this critical issue. I would be remiss if I didn't recognize the work of my colleague. We worked together in the Senate, Senator Wayne Fontana, who was the sponsor of the legislation that allowed us the opportunity to work with our utilities to be able to use state resources to invest in private lines to make certain that that occurs. There are a number of other measures that are there that I think will also provide the oversight, the work that was done to provide the PUC with the oversight authority of the PWSA. Those are all working together, but again, part of a plan that's going to allow us to implement the use of these resources to make certain that what we have here in Pittsburgh is clean water. So thank you all very much. It is my honor to introduce my partner in these efforts in many areas along those lines, State Representative Dan Frankel.
Thanks, Jay, and I too want to thank Governor Wolf, Secretary McDonald, and my colleagues at the state level that came together to put this effort together to get the legislation that allowed us to do private water lines, and it's a new day, I think, for Pittsburgh, for PWSA, that this is truly a vote of confidence in this agency, in our city's ability to move forward to replace these lines that is going to be so important to the quality of life and the public health of the citizens of the city of Pittsburgh. We're already ahead of schedule. I mean, PWSA has gone through a very difficult time, but they're now, I think, functioning under new leadership in a way that the residents here can have confidence. And again, as I say, this $49 million investment from the state level is that kind of vote of confidence in the capacity of this agency to be able to do the work, and they are doing it. They're ahead of schedule. I want to congratulate them, and I want to thank the new leadership of the PWSA and the mayor for the work to get their act together. And again, we're moving forward. This is a big step forward. There's a lot more to be done. Hopefully at the state level, we're going to be able to continue to partner and garner resources that will help us get this done in collaboration with the ratepayers here in the city of Pittsburgh. So thank you very much.
Okay, Director, bring it home.
Thank you all for coming, and thank you all for your comments. I will say that without all your help, these activities wouldn't happen. And it's important to note that, and I especially want to thank Representative Frankel for acknowledging the new team at PWSA, because we do get stuff done. The key is that the team has come together, and it's always gratifying. I mean, being the head of an agency is great, but it's the staff and the contractors, frankly, that get all the work done. And they have come together. The contractor here, like the others that are working for us, have done an absolutely fabulous job meeting our expectations and beyond. And that's what allows us. It's that group coming together as a team that gets these things to happen. So I certainly appreciate the fact that the state has now joined our team, and we hope to see much more of the state in supporting our projects. I mentioned earlier it'd be nice if we could get a similar grant every year for the next few, so that we can get all this work done as quickly as possible. But it's fair to say that it's the leadership of the city itself as well. I want to commend my board in particular, and they work at the behest of the mayor. The mayor appointed these people, and they have been absolutely phenomenal in supporting PWSA's renewal. And I truly believe without them, we wouldn't be where we are today. So it's fair to say that we intend to do more, keep it going. As I said, get stuff done, and we're going to do it as long and as fast and as hard as we got money to do it. Thank you all for coming.
Show us the first part of the pipe, how you were saying that nipple works.
So basically, you take the lead, you shove the copper through the lead the whole way, and if this is the end of the lead, the copper's sticking out, the cable goes through, and this has teeth that latch on, you can see. So when it goes in there, as it's pulling, it's making the cable tighter, it's grabbing onto it. This goes through the lead like this, and pulls it the whole way through, and as it's pulling, we're pulling the copper through with that. It's a Chinese finger trap. So as you pull, it gets tighter, see? So you'll see here in a second.
You're going to put the copper line through the old lead line.
Correct. The lead comes out. The lead comes out.
Okay.
Copper comes through.
So just, again, breaking it down so that we can sort of summarize and people can follow. What you're doing is you're threading through the copper at the same time you're pulling out the lead? Is that what's going on?
Correct. Correct. So as lead is coming out, copper's coming through. So this setup is one piece. See? And that lead, there's usually a cable there through the lead, and this is where the copper goes, and it pulls through. So if I had a piece of
The copper's already in the house.
yeah, the copper's in the house. As we pull, the copper's being rolled and it's coming through. So as you'll see when we start pulling, if all goes well, lead will come out, copper will be in.